So here we are at question number 22, and again we have been asked to identify the intercepts. So what are the intercepts? And we just have a blank that we're going to type in once we've identified everything. So here we have some sort of a curve. Again, this is something that we will not be graphing in this class. You will certainly start graphing these types of equations in pre-calculus. But for right now, we're just graphing straight lines, but we can certainly identify intercepts from all types of different equations and shapes, right? So let's take a look here. It looks like there are 4 intercepts total for this particular blue graph. And notice that with question 22 here, they don't actually distinguish between x-intercepts and y-intercepts, right? If we go back to the previous question, question 21, notice that they specifically asked for the x-intercept, and they specifically asked for the y-intercept. So if you inadvertently mix up the x and y intercepts for a question like 21, let's say, for example, you typed in the y-intercept, but it's asking for the x-intercept, it's going to mark that wrong. And if you accidentally type in the x-intercept when it's asking for the y-intercept, it's going to mark that wrong. So you really do have to know what it means for a point to be the x-intercept and for a point to be the y-intercept. But if we go back here to question 22, notice that the question is not distinguishing between x and y intercepts. It just wants you to list any point that crosses either the x or the y. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. First things first, I'm just going to start from the left of the graph and work my way from left to right. So first point I see that intersects one of our axes is this point here, which we can see is -6, 0. And if we proceed from the left, working our way to the right, the next intercept that I see is right here. And because this is a y-intercept, we know the 0 will belong to the x, and then the +2, which is where it intercepts the y-axis, belongs to the y. Let's keep going here. And next I see this intercept here, but of course this is on the x-axis. So it looks like it's at +1. And then, of course, for x-intercepts, the y is always 0. And then last but not least, if we go over to the right here, the last intercept we see is, again, another x-intercept. So we will say it looks like it's a 9. And, of course, all x-intercepts have a 0 for y. So there we have it. We've got our 4 intercepts that we've identified, and now we have to type all 4 of these ordered pairs in as our solution. Now, notice what it says here. It says type an ordered pair, use a comma to separate your answers as needed. So please take this into account when you are entering your solutions, or in this case, your ordered pairs. If you type in your ordered pairs without separating them by commas, you are going to get the answer wrong. The computer cannot understand that. So here's the first point, -6, 0, and I've got my parentheses, I've got my comma inside, and now I've got to list the next intercept. So I say comma, open another set of parentheses, and I'll type in the 0, 2, close parentheses, and now I've got to list another intercept, so I'm putting a comma in between, opening that set of parentheses. I'll type the 1, 0, close parentheses, and last but not least, I have to list that last intercept, 9, 0, so I have to use a comma. So I'll open the parentheses, type that ordered pair, and there we have it. So what I'm saying is, notice that there is a comma in between each of these intercepts. If you do not type those commas in between your intercepts, you are going to have this question marked wrong because the computer cannot understand. All right, so there we have it. Question 22, we identified all of the intercepts.